All right, we are live here for the second half. I was thinking about maybe not even doing this, honestly, seeing how the first half went because it seems like Dallas is a little control at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, they've had an incredibly dominant first half, but I don't think that Oklahoma City is going to be simultaneously 1 of 11 from 3 and 3 for 9 in the restricted area. That probably won't continue, though Dallas has done a lot to make parts of that happen.
I mean, yeah, they might hit a couple more threes, but only 11 attempts, I think, is massive. Here's Washington shooting it over Holmgren. Gafford missed the tip dunk. He was bothered from behind by Dort, but the offensive glass has been a problem for OKC. Yeah, they just ran a pick and roll to get their better defenders switched on to Shea. That didn't make a lot of sense. Here's Williams going to get past Luka, goes to the floater, but again, he felt the presence of Gafford. That has just been their absolute bane, that Dallas rim protection. Irving getting past Williams. Beautiful pass there by Kyrie Irving. His passing has been fantastic tonight.
Yeah, he's really opened up some clean looks for Dallas, and it's a part of the reason why they're over 45% now from 3.
So Joe has started the second half. He's going to set a screen for Williams to try to curl into the lane. Instead, they went away from it, but there was a hold on the backside. Yeah, I mean, that's just a great pass.
Yeah, Irving saw it the whole time, understood that he was drawing the pressure. Is there a way to pause our stream because the TV's way behind? Yeah, you can use YouTube. Nate, is that live?
It is indeed, yeah.
Yes, you can. I can put the link in.
Here, I got it right now.
Oh, well, there we go.
Here's Chet's three-pointer, left it short. Offensive rebound by Joe. No foul. Here's Shea on the drive. Goes right in, and he smoked the layup. Yeah, they might even be worse than 3 and 9 at the rim. And then a bad foul in transition by Jalen Williams.
So, Nate, the thing I wanted to ask you, it was weird to watch the first half. It's the first half of the series that we haven't watched together. Do you think it was more of an offensive or a defensive failure for the Thunder?
Oh, offensive, 100%. I mean, there have been things I haven't liked on either end, but like their defense hasn't been atrocious, especially in the half court. I mean, they're just going to give up. Like it's been a corner three factory, though. I mean, OKC gives up the most corner threes in the league, but this has been insane. Here's Chet finding Joe in the corner, missed, and Dort avoided fouling Gafford at least. Doncic in transition. His own guy ran into him. Good no call there. They still get a corner three out of it, but that misses. Good tip by Dort. Can they finally get something in transition? Luka is slow getting back for one of the first times, and they will actually get a foul and get to the line here through Shea. Luka, something happened to him, I guess. He just fell down and just never bothered to get back. He was in his feelings a little bit about the lack of a call, it seemed.
Yeah, hopefully he's fine physically. I didn't see anything we didn't get to see too much of him moving back there. But the corner threes is part of why I asked the question. I mean, Oklahoma City's defense hasn't been great for their offense. I mean, they're an 86 offensive rating right now. But that corner three factory, as you mentioned it, was, I believe, 13 in the first half. Maybe it was 11, and then now it's 13, actually. Apologies on that. And that's more than a team should give up. And sure, some of that is trying to stop things around the basket, trying to slow down Luka and Kyrie. But, I mean, those are really dangerous.
Well, and you know what? This is kind of similar to the discussion in that Bucks-Celtics series a while ago. Like, Mark Daigneault would probably point to, well, hey, like, our actual defensive rating is not that terrible as they give up a cheap foul on a Gafford drive of all things. Yeah, our defensive rating wasn't that terrible. You know, they shot really well from 3. Well, okay, you gave up a bunch of threes, but all right, fine. You know, you took Luka and Kyrie out of it pretty well. The support guys did some stuff. However, the problem is your offense sucks. So even though your defense is quote unquote good enough to win, your chance of improving the defense might be better than improving the offense right now. Because I mean, I could tell you what they should do on offense too, but that doesn't seem like that's happening. They are completely flummoxed by the rim protection. They can't do anything. So they might do a little better in transition going forward. But I think like the only way to win is to like just make the defense even better.
It's an interesting thought, and I think there's a sound logic behind it about what you can improve versus what you cannot improve.
Here's Shea going to come off the Chet screen. They've actually got Gafford guarding Chet, and that's one of the first times that they've actually run pick and roll at the center and forced Gafford to play just a conventional pick and roll defense where he's not quite as good there in space as he is just as a rim protector, as a helper. And we're going to get Dort on a hold here, getting around the Gafford screen.
And that is already, I believe, the third team foul in Oklahoma City in this quarter.
And I mean, by the way, Shea's shooting has been unbelievable in this game. Like he can't do anything except take a mid-ranger because of the lack of spacing, but he's making them. Gafford sprints into the screen. Luka comes off of it. Chet in more of a drop. Luka mid-ranger misses. So they have changed that up now, at least on Luka. They are not bringing Chet all the way up to the level. Here's Dort. Now Chet gets into the lane. Corner Joe. Good offense there, but he can't get the shot. Nice rebound here. Joe, he just got to pass the ball. Finally, they move it too slow by Dort, but he does make that three. And finally, they hit their second three-pointer of the game. But that was some of the best offense that we've seen from them.
Got the ball moving, got a couple of open shots on the same possession.
They call up Isaiah Joe this time. He's hiding out on Jones Jr. Jones Jr. comes down the lane, goes to the play. And that shot is survivable. I could live with that one. I'd rather have Jones Jr. be the roller than Gafford or Lively. He's just not as comfortable in that, even though he did make that one. Here they go under on Jalen Williams, and he missed that three. That's a pretty decent look, though. Like, they're just running a ton of pick and roll with Chet right now. That's a good adjustment to me. Kyrie going into Joe, kicks it to Jones Jr. in the corner. Jab step goes on in, and he's going to get fouled. Is that Chet's second foul this half already?
Third of the game, I believe second of the half.
Yeah, I think that actually might be Jalen Williams.
Let me take a look.
Yep.
Yes, that was so Chet has two. I apologize. I misread the box score.
Yeah, and again, we've talked about it before. We'll talk about it again on the pod, which I don't know if we have, as Jones Jr. misses that first free throw. That the Thunder were facilitated the acquisition of both Lively and Gafford, the two players who have caused massive problems for them in this series.
Yes, one directly through the trade that was basically Lively for Case and Wallace, and then the Daniel Gafford, the Thunder were the facilitator in that trade, making it so that the Wizards could get a first-round pick, which is what they wanted.
Yeah, so the center is on Chet because they've put Joe in the game. They can't hide him out on Gee. I would be putting the center as Shea misses that. Chet is underneath. He's getting tied up and then fouled by Luka. Probably not going to be a shooting foul, but I would be putting the center on Dort still. Now that's maybe a little bit harder. Do they respect Dort's above the break shooting? But they're finally they finally are getting it now, because they spent the entire first half with Lou Dort or Cason Wallace either rolling to the rim or standing in the dunker spot, which was just utterly asinine. Like, they were trying to have that guy set flare screens or something, and then so you can't throw that guy the ball. And so anytime you try to get downhill, there's no threat there. You saw that time Shea, he missed it, but he actually got closer to the rim than he has all night, because now Chet is the guy underneath, and Gafford has to respect him, or I guess it was Lively in this case, has to respect the fact that he could go get an alley-oop or an offensive rebound in a way that, a 6'3" guard is not going to do. And yeah, this is atrocious. This is a shooting foul.
Yeah, agreed.
How are we feeling about OKC's 3-point looks? I mean, they only got 11 of them, and a bunch of them were contested.
Quality, okay. Volume, terrible.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they should have been 3 for 11 instead of 1 for 11. All right, Luka almost draws the foul. Chet does a good job of standing down, but they throw it to the corner to Jones Jr., and he missed. So 3 straight corner threes missed now by Dallas. And Jones Jr., I think, has missed either two in a row, I believe. Here's Shea working on Washington, and there's Dort in the dunker spot again for some fucking reason. And, like, that's where the possession goes to die. Now Shea has to pull up over Washington, and that was still a decent look, but he, of course, can't get all the way to the rim. Here's Luka on the drive. Leaves it for Lively. Stop from behind. Gilgeous-Alexander. That'll be a block shot, I would imagine.
Should be.
Yes, they're doing a good job now. As Jones Jr. is going to sit down here. I think this will be Josh Green, and terrible defense. And this is going to be the under 7 timeout. Let me see what happened here. Yeah, that's just not good enough from Isaiah Joe. Like, the back screen is being set by Josh Green. Like, you're so worried, you got to stick to Josh Green. You can't just help out on Kyrie enough that, like, Josh Green is going to come off the screen and, like, bang a 3 on you or something. Like, that was just terrible.
The good news for the Thunder is that it is a 9-6 start to the third quarter for them. Their offense has looked significantly better during this. Better enough is going to be a challenge.
Here, quick break. Can I grab myself a tea? This half snuck up on me. Apologies.
Let me run through the comments both places. Isaiah Joe not really earning these minutes over Giddey. It's a challenge. I mean, I think that there are limitations for Joe defensively. There are things that he can bring offensively, and that's a part of why I've been positing for basically since the deadline, if not before that Oklahoma City needs to spend some of their resources to upgrade the guys. And I'm not saying like they need to replace Isaiah Joe. They just need somebody who is better than him, and that is a challenge that they're gonna have to deal with. From KS7, any thoughts on the Clippers observation? I mean, part of that is there was a stretch during the Clippers series where none of the Mavericks support players could hit a 3, and they were wide open in those two. And so, like, that was, I brought up PJ Washington, like people were talking about PJ Washington setting everything on fire, which he has been. He's been fantastic overall in the series, but he had a stretch during the Clippers series where I think it was like 1 for 15 from 3, and they were basically the same quality of looks as the ones he's had here. So they had some benefits from that. That was part of the story of games. I think that was games 1 and 4 was that the Mavs just couldn't hit open shots. So I don't know that I would say the Clippers played the Mavs better overall, but it was closer. The margin between how the Clippers played them and how the Thunder played them, far, far closer than I would have expected.
How much do combine measurements factor into my draft analysis? I think only if the measurements are like really terrible in terms of wingspan or standing reach does it matter. I put almost no stock in the vertical leap stuff at all.
Thank you, Pat Connaughton. But it's not just that. Yeah, for me, what I like to do, people have listened to the pod the last couple of years, I was actually working on it today because the combine measurements came out, is I call them like physical or measurement comps. And so it's just an idea of like, okay, it's the basic numbers, the like wingspan, standing reach, weight, height. Who is physically similar to that? And that doesn't include like their explosiveness or anything like that. And for me, sometimes that helps because college players and international players are sometimes built differently from NBA players. Like, okay, what should I be seeing like as a physical frame when I'm looking at this person? Like I think that's a useful thing. That's why I do it for draft work. But does that make me change my analysis? Not really. It's just a little bit of context.
Well, and let's say like Ryan Rupert or Bruno Caboclo, right? Those guys both have just insane wingspans, and we don't go kind of low enough in our draft analysis to do someone like that. But that's just something to kind of keep in mind of like, oh, maybe they have the potential to make plays, but really it's more about like, do they make plays or not? But and I do think having a short wingspan though is just there's only so good you can be. I think if you have a short wingspan because you just can't challenge shots.
Yeah,
Like that,
and especially if you have a short wingspan and below average athleticism.
I think PJ Washington was actually in like a 3-point stance right there, going to get into the lane for that offensive rebound. Flex action here. They bring Joe out guarded by Luka. Luka stayed with them pretty well. Now they involve him in the pick and roll. They'll switch it. Shea had that he made that shot, but again, that I think that should be like if you've got Joe open one pass away and the guy's at the nail, just drive right at that guy at the nail and just throw Joe a pass for a 3-pointer. Now Luka working on Dort into the lane, deflected. Check got him with that amazing wingspan. In transition, they don't get anything again. This Dallas transition defense, and that's an atrocious shot. This Dallas transition defense has been amazing. Like that was fantastic right there. Like that you thought that was going to be a dunk, and then great contest there by Shea on Irving.
Yeah, it looked like a 3-on-2, and then they didn't get a clean look at all. Incredible.
Yeah. So Shea kicks it. Nope, not a good enough pass to Chet. He was open. Pass wasn't good enough. Now it's Shea guarded by Lively. He tells everyone to get out of the way. Tries to go at him. Finds Jalen Williams underneath. Oh, blocked from behind by Washington. Yet another blocked shot. And they're going to say this is going down. Look at this play by Washington. He comes off the guy who passed it to block it from behind.
10th credited block shot for the Dallas Mavericks in this game.
Shea in the post now guarding Washington. Stands him up pretty well. Chet comes over to help. And, they bailed out Washington with a foul right there. That was, does Chet have the arms forward? Is that on him?
It is called on Chet Holmgren, yes.
Yeah, that's just, I think he must have just had the arms forward there. Like they had him trapped. Like they should not have committed that foul.
And that is Chet's third personal. When I misstated before, now it's accurate.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a poor execution, mistakes, like as Washington misses that. Yeah, no offense says it feels like Shea's game is empty calories. I'm hard pressed to. Well, first of all, it's not empty calories on defense. Like he's been making all kinds of plays on defense as Williams goes in and just it's just a headlong rush. There's nowhere to go right there. It's not a good rim read.
The help defenders right there.
That was yet another transition play, although it was off a free throw. Ooh, good verticality by Joe, but it didn't matter. Washington went right through him, and OKC now had gotten within 6. And Dallas right back. Excuse me, within 7. Here's Shea attacking. He had Chet open on the roll. Didn't look that way. They almost turned it over. Williams. And what happened here? Timeout with him on the ground, I guess.
Yeah, Mark Daigneault called one. They have 3 remaining in the game. Both teams have their challenges. And on the Shea front, it's hard. There's plenty of nuance here. So I think that Shea's individual scoring has been a positive. It's been more in line with what it was in the regular season. And his defense has been in many ways better than I would have expected. It's translated extremely well. The thing that I'll say is that his passing has been worse. Some of that is context that these guys aren't hitting shots. Their spacing is a little jacked up. But part of it is he has gotten some tunnel vision. He has missed some open guys. So the overall picture, I think, is closer to the regular season than I expected. But to me, like, there haven't been many like, oh crap, he's the best player on the floor, like those kinds of moments yet. But they are running against a really, really good team. So I would say more positive. Like I couched everything because I feared it might be worse than this, but it still isn't perfect.
I mean, he's been the best offensive player in the series to me.
Luka and Kyrie have gone up and down, but what did the quality of shots they've created for teammates? Like, I mean, it's not like, PJ's created his 2s, but like they're generating a ton of open 3s.
Yeah, I like I said, like they're just the complete lack of spacing that they have, like for him to be able to score at all the way things are lined up. I mean, Dallas has had a great plan. They've had a great plan. I totally credit them. They do a great job of like keeping the center out of the action. He's always there. Like, you can't get all the way to the rim. Like there are not many guys, I think, who could be scoring as efficiently as Shea is, given the fact that like going to the basket is just a complete non-option, right? Like, so I do really put it on, and that's the most disappointing thing. Like I thought this 5-out spacing was actually going to be like a major problem for Dallas, and instead they've had zero problem keeping their center standing under the basket on every single possession.
Other than Franz Wagner and Josh Giddey, who are some notable players that need to completely remake their shot? Both Thompson twins. That's the first thing I thought of. I don't know that I have too many other than that.
Let's see. Remake their shots. Like the form is just totally messed up. You know, the Thompson twins form is actually like not that terrible. It just is very inconsistent. It doesn't go in. Like I mean, or at least like their hand placement on the ball is not.
There's some lower body consistency from what I remember.
Yeah, that's certainly an issue.
I actually watched a very small amount of Thompson twins overtime elite film this morning for a very different reason.
Okay.
I'll say this. Alex Sarr played an OTE, and I watched some of his stuff there, and they were playing a game against the Thompson twins.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Any lottery tweaks? How about flattening the lottery odds even more? I don't think they should flatten more. I've actually thought that it should be less flat than it is right now, just because the idea of it not incentivizing tanking, but it creates so much randomness and it creates a pit that's very hard to get out of. So I don't think flattening it, even for me personally, for what I value, I don't think flattening it more would be better.
Yeah, I think it's plenty flat at this point. Actually, you know what I might do? I might keep the odds the same, but just take it back to only top 3. Oh, there they go. Hey, roll to the basket. Easy shot, system bucket. Of course, we missed how that happened because we had to watch this montage, but here's Green looking to get Luka in the post. They cross screen to get Shea on him, and Luka immediately finds the right pass. Way too easy. That was a good flare screen on the weak side, and they get a corner 3 right back. But yeah, because they switched Shea onto Luka, that's where the overreaction came. Yeah, that just needs to be a better pass from Shea. You got to have more steam on it. Like that, I'll agree that aspect has not been that good. And he does get into the lane there and score. But the middle is really opening up now because they brought Joe in. Like, yeah, he hasn't done that much himself, but it just has kind of changed things. Spain pick and roll here. Luka going at Joe, and Joe is not like a total wallflower. Like, he'll actually come over and make some plays defensively as a help guy.
We see another center swap. I have loved the way Jason Kidd has managed his center rotation.
Yeah.
I wonder if other teams will follow us. Now, most teams don't have centers that are seemingly as interchangeable as Gafford and Lively have been. But, I mean, acknowledging that you don't have to change much and you could keep those guys a little more fresh. Love it.
2 screens here for Jalen Williams, who's been absolutely non-existent. He's going to go at Gafford. Goes into the lane. Oh, he got stopped from behind. Huge block, but Josh Green came over. Oh, and by the way, where did Josh Green come from, would you say, Danny? Who do you think he was guarding on that play?
I don't know. Maybe
Josh Giddey
another
standing
Australian?
in the dunker spot completely uselessly? Shea going to try PJ 1-on-1. Hardaway is waiting on the strong side. Shea's just going to have to go to another tough fadeaway. I mean, it's just there's no space there. There's nowhere to go. And they throw it ahead, and it's just going to go out of bounds. We'll stay here, says Zach Zarba. And I do think that Shea could try to get into the lane a little bit more. So this is actually going to be a challenge by Mark Daigneault.
We'll see if the king of challenges can get back his mojo. It's been at least a couple of games since he had a positive one.
Yeah. And now you do have to make a sub. You do have to play more than 5 players. But now I am surprised actually that they haven't been putting Gafford on Josh Giddey. I'm sure they'll get to that pretty quickly. But they also want to show a few different looks. I get that.
They have it already? Okay. So successful challenge. That means it will be OKC ball, and they retain a challenge for the future. Should Oklahoma City get Markkanen? That is an interesting pursuit, and the logic behind that is you could get spacing from that position. They don't really need somebody who provides their defensive identity. I'd say he's a completely worthy target.
A 9-point game here. OKC has had, I would say, some pretty good chances in this half. They're trying to get Shea off the screen. Green tracks him. They're switching. Dort, now Giddey in the corner. A little too slow making the decision, but neither of those guys was really going to attack. Shea going to try Green. Again, there are guys just hanging out in the lane. And Shea shoots. I thought actually that time he had Chet open above the break with Gafford hanging out in the lane. And if I'm Dallas, hey, why not pack the paint, even if they have these shooters on the floor? Yeah, they've been wearing out this Spain pick and roll action now. Luka complains to the referee, and he'll now try to just go one-on-one. Do they switch this? Chet's in a drop. Luka going to his left, fires the three. I still like Luka's not proven he can score one-on-one in this series. Do you want to and that should be an offensive foul. Yeah, that's the right call.
Yeah, Giddey diverted his path to initiate that contact. That's certainly not a defensive foul. I mean, they could have called a travel instead. I would have been fine with that too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this feels feels like the exact same game we watched on whatever day that was, Saturday.
All the days run together, Nate. And so it looks like I think Jay Will is on the floor for Chet now. Cason Wallace is out there.
Here's Josh Green going right through another Josh, but Giddey held up well enough there, and his fellow Australian turns it over. Jalen Williams trying to slip out of that screen. Shea trying to work on Josh Green. He's stopped nicely. Shea on the attack off the slip screen, steps out of it. He's starting to miss a few of those tough ones, though. Now it was probably unreasonable to expect him to keep making every single one of those. Here's Gafford down the lane. And Giddey got a hand on it again. He's actually made a couple of stops. Shea on the push, tries to draw the foul, and he is tripped from behind. And Josh Green said, no, he pushed me with the forearm. See if I agree with that. I didn't get a great look at it. Was that Tyrese Maxey?
That was my exact thought. It looked like Tyrese Maxey.
He's the Dallas guy. Yeah, maybe Green was complaining about that previous play. Let's see. I mean, that's pretty marginal contact right there, I would say. So they are going to challenge it, I guess. Yeah, that's not very smart. It's going to get upheld, I think.
There's enough content.
I don't have as good of an understanding for it as I used to, but I think. And I guess this would wipe off a couple of free throws. This doesn't seem like a good enough combination. Yeah, I mean, he gives him a little shove there. He kind of... All right, so here it is. Yeah, it's like a slight extension on a push. I mean, that probably, by the definition, is like that's enough to disrupt his rhythm, speed, and balance. I forget what there's a 4-letter acronym. I can't remember what the fourth one is.
Nate, people on YouTube are saying your mic is choppy. I'm not hearing it, but I just wanted to pass along the note.
Okay. Is anyone on playback here in that?
Playback seems like people are saying it's fine.
Yeah.
That's weird. Okay, we'll keep an ear out for it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what to do about that. It's just like running from playback. Yeah, okay. Well.
Oh, another. Okay, we'll keep an ear out for
it. We never know. It's the bane of our existence when these audio problems happen with the exact same settings, the exact same internet, and sometimes it actually is legitimate that it happens. So what are we gonna have here? Did they rule already? Or are they still looking at it?
They have not ruled yet.
Yeah, so isn't that marginal? I mean, it's right on the borderline to me. I mean, there is a reaction, though, right? Like, and so I think there's probably enough to sustain it, but we'll see. This is a good crew, so let's see what they got to say. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to call that. If you're looking at it afresh, but it's also hard to say, well, like, did he stumble on purpose there, or did he make him stumble? Apparently, the interpretation was the former. Wallace gets over the screen nicely. Irving finding Green. They wants to go back to good defense by Wallace. I thought he got tripped there by Irving as he went after the ball.
Yeah,
that should have been a foul.
He deflected it, and then I thought there was contact.
Yeah, he's about to run this down. Okay, maybe there was no contact.
I wish we had another angle.
He tripped. I assumed it was from Irving. I guess on the closer view, I didn't see it. Nice recognition by Giddey to get back in front of Green. Here's a corner three by Washington, misses. And Green takes it away from behind Williams, who's just been atrocious tonight. Kyrie now has Giddey. Good recognition by Wallace to go for the double team, but of course Giddey just lets him out of it to his right hand, which is the way you're not supposed to let him go, even if you're in an isolation, and particularly when someone comes on a trap. Yeah, OKC just cannot stop tripping over their own feet in this game, and of course Dallas's athleticism and pressure has had a lot to do with it, and they're Green. With Gafford behind you, you got to get into it more. You can't just let him shoot that ball without putting him on the ground. Doncic on the bench here. Irving going to try to get to his right hand. They give up the switch to Shea. Let's see if he is going to guard Irving. No, they go in double. Right, one pass away off a wide open shooter. I mean, that's a nice box out by Jay Will, but that's. Can we give Shea like one try to see if he can guard Kyrie Irving in an
I'd like to see it. See if they can get the 2-for-1 here.
Shea tries Washington. Washington's defended him pretty well. Giddey gets it quickly to Wallace, who drains it. Wallace doesn't shoot many threes, but he makes the ones that he takes. And this is now, 22-12 run in the last 9 minutes. OKC's defense, it's been overall pretty good in this series, honestly, and it's been good in this third quarter, particularly as Dallas has started to miss some of those open threes. 6-second differential now. They want to screen J-Dub into the action. Irving downhill. Here's the drive by Hardaway. Finds Green in the corner. Wallace, I think he might even got a piece of that. They've got time here to push it. Giddey has it. He's got Wallace on his right. He shoots it. I guess they didn't have as much time as I thought. But that'll do it off the backboard from Giddey. And yeah, a 22-12 jog. Yeah, maybe not quite a walk, but.
Well, especially because that 22-12 jog, there were only 3 other points scored in the entire quarter. It's 22-15 in the entire quarter in favor of Oklahoma City. So it was basically that for the quarter. And that 15 points for Dallas, that is significant that they were able to hold him some missed shots there. Let me pull up Dallas's shot chart for just the third quarter. Dallas, 0 for 5 in the restricted area, 3 for 4 upper paint, 0 for 2 mid range. They did generate 6 corner threes, which is a lot for a single quarter. They only made 1 of those 6 and then 1 of 3 above the break.
All right, I'm going to do an experiment here and actually listen to our own stream on YouTube and see if I can discern a problem. So I'm going to just continue talking here, and let's see if I actually hear something.
Well, I guess I should probably talk.
No, it actually sounds fine as far as I could tell. How would I rate the quality of basketball outside the Minnesota-Denver series in this round? I think in this series it's been pretty good. But I do think it's been impacted by the fact that Luka has not been anywhere close to 100%. And
I think Dallas is doing some great things tactically to make the game look worse, but that's good defense. That's what you're supposed to do.
And then obviously Boston, Cleveland has sucked, and New York, Indiana has been competitive, but ultimately just not two very good teams available. How much blame can be attributed to Tibbs for the muscle ligament injuries? I think generally muscle injuries like the Anunoby hamstring, that's the one that really stands out to me. Brunson just taking a weird step and hurting something in the bottom of his foot. Is that
or
because he was exhausted?
Julius Randle's injury, no.
No,
Mitchell
certainly
Robinson's
not
injury,
Randle.
Mitchell Robinson's injury, no, because that's an ankle.
Well, and also since Boyan went down, they haven't actually had enough decent players to play these guys fewer minutes. The other series, the Western Conference Finals. That's an interesting thought. If Luka were 100%, I don't think he's going to get there in these playoffs. I certainly hope that he does. But if Luka were 100%, I might say no. But I think Denver is going to make this Dallas defense look so much worse than OKC did. And that's just the brilliance of Jokic. Okay, you've got this great rim protector. Well, I'll just score on him in the post. Gafford and Lively cannot guard Jokic in the post. And so that maybe they'll put PJ Washington on him and try for the whole, keep the guy close to it. But it's just playmaking from 10 feet away from the basket is just so much better. And particularly when you're the best playmaker at that position in NBA history.
Yeah. And if it's Minnesota, that would be a fascinating series.
Shea remains in the game here in this do or die fourth quarter for OKC, and immediately Wallace and Dort combined for a turnover. Kenrich Williams is at the table right now. He had a semi-effective stint, I would say, in the first. Luka's back in, so Dort guarding him. I thought the offense did look better with Dort out of the game, too. Luka tries to go through Dort, and that's a tough shot. Great job of Dort showing his hands. I think Dort's been fantastic on Luka. We probably are losing sight of that to some degree. So now they've got Doncic guarding Chet. These are brilliant rotations, and Jones Jr. just blocks Williams from behind. Really nice rotations by this Dallas defense. And then they lob it up to Jones in transition.
And Dallas they don't need a ton of transition, but they need to actualize it when they get there. That was gorgeous.
Here's Chet downhill. He's got Dort. Dort gets fouled from behind. That's a nice play there. I do think, and especially if they've got Luka, Lively saying he didn't foul him, but if they've got Luka guarding Chet right now, I mean, if you can release that 4-on-3 downhill, they don't want to switch Luka onto Shea, I guess. Oh yeah, that would be quite the subplot in the West Finals if it's Dallas Denver, a Jokic versus Markieff Morris from the bench.
Bring him in to try to get Jokic tossed.
Yeah, I always felt like the people who blamed Jokic for that interaction were not being fair. Like, you don't do, like, do something that aggressive
And
and
then
then
run
just
away.
turn around and walk away and expect someone's not going to respond. Like, you don't get to engage and then just decide to disengage on something like that, because Markieff made a really dirty play to start that. Luka posting up. Oh, easy steal by Jalen Williams. Are they finally going to get fast? Nope, they are not. They are not going to get a fast break again.
That was a
It's
nice
been
poke away by Tim Hardaway
it's
Jr.
been incredible. Does he get this clean?
I thought he did.
Yeah, looks good. It's been incredible how few times they've scored on fast breaks. Here's a 3 for Dort. He cashes that out. Yeah, putting him in the corner or above the break is where he should be, because all he can do is make a wide open 3. You don't want to doing anything else. Luka cut back off by Dort. Now Luka pulls up. Nice job there by Luka. That's really been his best move since he got hurt, is let the guy get back in front of him and then pull it right at that moment. Luka switching on to J-Dub. J-Dub, he can't even handle the ball right now. Sweeping crossover. Luka cuts him off, goes for the steal from behind. Jones Jr. was underneath with Lively, and he forced a miss. Shea is briefly on the bench. Irving stopped. What a play. Was that Wallace again? Chet got hit in the face behind the play.
That was Case and Wallace.
Chet's okay. He's going to interact with Dort here. Dort tries to drive, goes in, and that wasn't too close. There's Luka creating the space on Wallace, and that's one I want to see that again, because it seems to me, yeah, Wallace does kind of jump forward a little bit there. But nice job by Luka, because Case Wallace had just blocked his teammate's jump shot. And so he knew to get him in the air and draw some free throws. Yeah. OKC's defense has been really, really good in this game. And they've cleaned up a lot of stuff. I think going to the drop coverage, less 2 on the ball here in the second half has really helped that a lot. Yeah, going back to Dort, that just if the moment he doesn't have the shot, he needs to just pass it. And Chet doesn't help by going over there to try to set a screen for him. But just him trying to wait and drive, as Luka misses one of those 2 free throws. Shea's back now. Very brief rest for him. You see the Thunder's execrable shooting in this game. They try to go to kind of a Spain look here. Shea, tough shot. Again, he had potentially Chet Holmgren open that time, popping out. Lively is staying in the paint, and why should he ever leave until they throw Chet the ball and let him shoot a 3? Here's Irving. He left it short. Chet kept it alive. Keeping Chet closer to the rim has also helped their rebounding. Here's Shea. He's been quiet in the second half. Chet's open on the trail, and he hits it. Lively late getting back into the play. I'm not sure what happened to him, but OKC as close as they've been now.
And it's wild. It feels like Dallas is still outplaying them by a margin, and yet this game is still very much for the taking.
Dort bothering Luka. Luka plows in. This is the time for Luka to take over. And there's the dunk by Lively. And he's going to have words with Kendrick Williams now.
And I hope they don't call any text on this. There's just let it go.
I'm not sure who really took issue with whom at first.
I think Kendrick took issue with Lively holding onto the rim. That's how I saw it.
Oh yeah, so Lively got knocked down. Then Chet drains the 3. He thought he got fouled. And then Luka, now he's starting to attack a little bit more. He shoves Dort down. No call there. Oh, yeah, I think what Lively took an issue with is a nice little shove from Kendrick Williams afterwards. But Dallas responds again with OKC within 3. And Lively, they're going to look at this. It seems like nothing of consequence. Or is it?
I think they gave double text on this. Oh, and they took the chat. He still was on the line on the play.
Yeah, they normal procedure, unless it's right at the end of the game, is to look at that at the next stoppage, which this was. And that was not
That's a
too
bad
close.
miss.
Maybe he's just trying to trick him into fouling him again.
Run away!
The little rope-a-dope there. Screen for Shea off the ball. Chet rejects it, goes on the attack, and he stopped. Lively came down from the top to bother him. Here's Doncic on the attack. He goes to the corner. They got him in rotation. Washington has a man on his back, shoots over Chet, gets the rebound, kept alive by Lively. Dort comes over, and he jumped A to B. He jumped right into him. That's a good call.
Yeah, and it's hard to see from this angle, but you are correct.
Yeah, Grant Hill has no idea what he's talking about there.
There's also a ton
really
of body
far
contact.
Yeah, and it doesn't look as bad because he jumps so far into him that he there's a lot of contact, and he lands actually closer to where he took off than you would have expected. But that's because he slammed into him so hard.
Oh, people are saying the mics are better too. Yay.
Indeed. Yeah, I agree with Bin Lin here. I would not go to the Haka because their transition offense has still somehow been a charge. I want to update the stats on that our next break, but
do you want it? I'm happy to give it to you.
Yeah.
OKC 77 offensive rating in transition, though Dallas is only an 82.
Shea guarded by Jones. He gets past him. I thought he got tripped right there. And Chet can't get the rebound. Yeah, that to me was a foul. Luka working against Wallace. He's going to try to take over and bring him home for a 3-1 lead. Left it short. 3-on-2. Can they finally score? That's what they're going to take? Okay. It's down to 5 again. Irving now against Chet in pick and roll defense. Oh, beautiful pull up. Got him retreating. Chet saying he pushed off, but yeah, you're not getting that call. That's maybe they'll fix that with the competition committee next year.
I thought there also might have been a carry on Kyrie. The ball popped up a little bit, but they're not going to call that either.
PJ Washington's been effective switching on to Shea. Shea crosses over. Flare screen for Wiggins. They need it? No. Rebounded by Chet. Chet tied up by Luka. He's just got so much arm to foul.
And so that is going to be Luka Doncic's 4th personal foul, 4 for Kyrie, 4 for Lou Dort, and then I don't care about the threes.
Is Kleba's injury a blessing for the Mavs, or the Thunder just not taking advantage? Yeah, I think they just maybe it has been, but Kleba I think probably would have just played at the 4. Maybe they would have gotten Kleba at the 5 if they really were struggling to score. But the way they've defended, I think they would have just kept that rim protection on. Maybe they would have had more Kleba and less Hardaway Jr. And Hardaway Jr. was pretty important for them in game 2.
Kleba also would have been a fallback in case PJ Washington wasn't hitting his shot the way that he has been in this series, and that was never a guarantee. I mean, PJ Washington, career 35% three-point shooter. He's been incredible so far in this series, but you have to kind of price that in, that he's probably not going to shoot in the 50s for the rest of his career.
Is Dallas winning the Lively Kaysen swap so far in this series? Oh yeah, 1,000%. Even as Lively has not scored very well, like his plus minuses have been awesome. Like Wallace has played some good defense. He's hit a couple of jumpers. I mean, he still has a chance to maybe change that, because to me he should be closing this game. But I think yes, like Lively's played more. He's been more impactful. I don't see how you could argue otherwise.
And even though, even though Lively's not scoring effectively individually, he's also creating extra opportunities on the offensive glass, rolling hard to the rim, all those sorts of things. Like centers often get too much credit in terms of individual efficiency, but Lively is helping their offense even when he's not putting the ball through the basket.
Yeah, he's been good on the offensive glass too. David, 5:43 a.m. in Berlin, Germany.
Woo!
It's what heroes do. So, David, did you get up or did you stay up? Is J-Dub hurt? Is there another reason why he's been uninvolved? I mean, he did have the ankle issue last time. I think largely it's just that he doesn't quite have enough in his bag to really generate much. Like, I think when he's gotten the ball, he's been aggressive, but he hasn't really been able to get to his step back. They've been sitting on that, like that step back left. He doesn't really have the finishing craft when he gets all the way to the rim. Like, he's just kind of going headlong, and he's physically dominant enough that generally works, but not when they've had a huge center waiting there for him all the time. If OKC somehow wins this game, would you still favor Dallas in the series going forward? I think they've looked better in the second half. I think they started to find at least a few things. Like they've gotten to some saner strategies. So I do think maybe that's somewhat sustainable.
And I mean, even though home road hasn't been a huge force in this series so far, generally speaking, the team that has 2 home games, a home game 7 is helpful. So I think I'd have it as really close to a 50-50 proposition. Because also that means that OKC is coming back. I mean, as we're, like right now they're down 7. They're winning this game, and then we're evaluating it.
Seven-point game here. They're giving Chet a little bit of a rest. They better not keep him out long. Wallace sets an illegal screen. Goes to the basket. That's the right pass. Little low. Can Dort cash it out? No. Rebounded by Williams. Shea works into the lane. Dort's wide open again. Shoots that one. Can't get it. Williams, another rebound. Knocked away from behind. Oh, and it's going to be Dallas ball. Jay Will wants the challenge. They did win that first one, didn't they?
They did.
Let's see it. Oh, no, it's off his right thigh.
And Luka didn't touch it.
He thought Luka touched it, but it's obviously off his thigh. Are they challenging this? Nope, not a good decision. It's pretty, unless like he hits it after it hits off his thigh as his hand is coming down. I thought it was, maybe I thought it was for sure Jay Will's thigh, but
it looked like it was a white. It looked like it was a white jerseyed thigh to me, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it here momentarily. It's a big call, but yeah, 2 big misses from Dort on open corner threes. I'm going to check some of the overall stats in this one. Mavs have cooled off from 3 in the second half. They're now only 11 of 31. OKC is 5 of 24, but a scalding 4 of 13 in the second half.
Ooh.
That Hollinger tweet is nuts. I haven't seen it yet. Oh, Thunder have made 1 shot in the restricted area since the first quarter. Yeah, that's not very good. Have they shown us a replay yet? They haven't, huh? Maybe they're not showing it in the arena because they know it's bad news for the Mavs.
Oh.
Oh,
it hit Jones.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, it was tough to see from that angle, but Simon had it right. Congrats. Yeah, Dallas's miserable free throw shooting is also keeping them in it, and it hasn't been the centers. Really, it's been everybody. Jones, Gafford, Doncic actually is 3 of 3 somehow. That's the only one that's who's been up to snuff there.
Yeah, and then OKC by comparison, 18 of 19 from the line.
Yeah, Luka is the only Mav not shooting 50%
or worse
from the foul line or worse. Yeah, Joe is +2. I think Dagnall is more defaulted towards defense. And Dallas only has 28 points in the second half. So that has kind of worked. But I would love to see Jalen Williams has been atrocious. He's 2 of 14. Dort is 3 of 13. And yeah, I mean, the overall Thunder shooting at the rim, 4 of 14. And then they are 6 of 21 in the upper paint. Only 11 of 20 on mid-rangers is keeping them in it. But even that has been starting to wane some.
And that 11 of 20, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's 7 of 10 there. So the rest of the team is 4 of 10.
All right, into J-Dub here. They still don't have Chet in, interestingly. And J-Dub finally scores one going to his left. He went at Irving, and they had some screening action on the baseline out of bounds that distracted the defense. See, one of the few times, again, that there is no big available, as Gafford was worried about Jay Will setting a screen for the inbounder, and J-Dub able to get to his left hand on that. That's the way he likes to go. He finally gets there, and OKC is again within 4. Can they get over the hump? Dort trying to prevent Luka from getting the ball. They're going to run a little flare screen action. That's right out of Terry Stotts' playbook right there. Doncic finding Derek Jones Jr. He's going to drive it. Oh, and finishes. Gafford held off Jalen Williams, and that's where they really missed Chet on that finish. He goes, and Chet's already going to the table, but I quite frankly don't understand why he wasn't in the game right now. This is your season. Like, they had a long break with the replay. Here's Shai blowing by his man, and again, Gafford not really in position. Yeah, Chet has played 33 minutes. That's a fair amount for him, but I mean, this is the season right here. Here's Gafford. Goes through, and once
Another
more,
one?
nothing at their end. They can't, like, Jay Will has to be way up in pick and roll coverage because they can't have him going downhill to him, but not having Chet in the game has cost them 2 buckets here. Now Shai against Irving. Creates the space. That's an easy look for him.
And so the Thunder are holding serve. At some point, they will need to do better than that. For a second, I thought they were intentionally fouling.
Here's Washington in the lane. Shoots it. Maybe a little aggressive there. And that's going to be a loose ball. No, a jump ball.
That's a bad call.
I can't believe that was not a loose ball foul on Gafford. And now they can't sub Chet in right now either. This is a good rebound. I mean, he's got his arm wrapped around him early. Let's go.
I mean, the ref does have a different angle on it, but that looked like a defensive foul to me. Or a loose ball foul, let's say it that way.
Yeah, it didn't look as bad in the slow-mo. So critical jump ball. Mavs have won all of these, and they do again. And what just happened there? Clock issue? Oh, yeah, it shouldn't be 21 on the shot clock here. What's the foul situation?
3 team fouls on the Mavs, 3 team fouls on the Thunder. Dort, Luka with 4.
Yeah, they really
Kyrie has 5.
Chet in, and here's a 3 from Jones Jr. That's a huge shot, missed and rebounded by Shai. They can cut it to 1 possession for the first time in forever. Shai on the attack. Washington didn't get there, has to kick out. Jay Will can't get it. Another miss at the rim. Shai Going to blow by Washington. He'll pull the jumper. That's good. And Jay Will has been excellent on the offensive glass. Hasn't been able to get any putbacks, but he's keeping a lot of these alive. And now Kidd will get his timeout with it finally down to a one-possession game. And Chet is going to get back in the game now. I imagine that it'll be Dort. Yeah, so who are they going to close with then?
Wait, they were able to bring. I think Chet has been in. I think he came in when J Dub had the free throw. I think they've been playing double big for like a minute.
Have they?
I thought I saw Chet on the floor.
Oh, okay. Maybe I was wrong then. Sorry.
Just at the very, very end, like the last 30 seconds.
All right. Well, let me go back and see.
I'm looking at the play-by-play.
He is listed as being in the game now, but
when you look at the play-by-play, it looks like he checked in at 6:33.
Oh yeah, there he is. Okay, sorry I missed that.
Yeah, and as Vinland's saying, I'd close double big too. I think it's been a good work. It's been a good work for them.
That is the first time they've got to it in Dallas. Yeah, has Shea been the best player of the series? Yeah, I think we talked about that earlier. I would say that would be my opinion, particularly considering his defense as well.
Luka's limitations as a scorer haven't been pressed as much by Oklahoma City as they could be. I'd say it's probably between the. I mean, because Kyrie's been too up and down.
Yeah, neither of them have had a great series. So if they had, I would say them. And it's hard to say your rim protecting center has been the best player. Luka in the post now. Hardaway Jr. is in for this offensive possession. Luka backs down. They bring two guys to help. Good rotation by Shea on Washington. Then he cuts him off too. Washington still bludgeoning his way in. Goes to the hook. Missed it. Oh, and the rebound goes over the head of Chet. I thought Lively got fouled there on the arm. And Chet had a chance there to get that rebound, and he just kind of got shoved out of the way a little bit. Deep inbound in the corner. Lively will take it. Irving going to pop out? No, it's Doncic. He takes a big three. Luka maybe it looked like he was starting to try to bring him home a few possessions ago. Does he have it in him now to close? They go after Hardaway Jr. That's good. That's beautiful process. And Shea doesn't have to get to the rim. He's been absolutely ridiculous. Shea is now at 32 points on 14 of 26, and he's getting nothing at the basket. Only 4 free throw attempts. Irving going at Wallace. Fights up over him. No. Nice rebound by Chet Holmgren.
OKC has a chance for their first lead.
Wow, they can take the lead here. Oh, they got to get someone over to this side. He's going to go right by him and score. Oh, good defense by Washington. I thought he was going to get to that step back, and now Luka almost gets a steal. Shea has it. Late clock. Does he have the energy to close? Gets in. Chet's wide open. Luka doesn't get out there. 3-point lead for OKC. Doncic got knocked down, and he's just walking right now. That he didn't make the play defensively.
And first lead since 4-2 for OKC.
Irving calls up Wallace. Gets to his spot. Left it short again. Irving has not been able to get these shots that are his bread and butter the last couple of times. 9-0 OKC run. Can they push it to 2 possessions all of a sudden? Shea's exhausted. He'll set the screen. He's going to try one more time here. Gets off the ball. Williams getting past PJ. Gets to his fadeaway. No. Chet gets pushed out of the way. No call. Wasn't really in position anyway. Doncic has Wallace. Comes off the screen. Chet in a drop. Doncic going up. And there's the dunk.
Chet got stuck in no man's land there. He couldn't play the pass.
Yeah, and I think they got to really try to keep him on the sideline with that instead of letting him get middle. Once he's coming downhill, he's too good with that floater. OKC by 1. Shea going to try to go at Irving. Shea again. Look, he is how tired he is. He's going to try one more time. Kicks it out. Dort, wide open corner 3. Hits it over Lively.
I may want to look for a foot on the line there, but I do think that was a 3.
Dort doesn't want to give up the switch here. They're trying to call up Wallace. Dort gets through it. Luka plows into him. Where's the help going to come from? He turns. Chet bottles him up. Ooh, lucky to recover it. Hardaway Jr. eluding Jay, and he finishes it for a 3. I do not really care for Hardaway Jr. being out here, but the reason they're not going with Derrick Jones Jr. is because of his shooting. They're trying to go after Luka now and pick and roll. They got Luka guarding Shea. Pass him the ball. Dort on the drive, almost threw it away. And Williams has lost it. No time. He gets to the baseline and he dunks. I didn't think he had a fresh dribble there.
Maybe. Oh, yeah, we need the reverse angle on that.
This has been punishing no breaks for a long time here in crunch time. Irving, stopped by Chet. It's loose. Now Washington, he'll try Chet. No, knocked away from behind, but a foul on Shea.
But I believe that is non-shooting, and it's in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, we'll see if that is non-shooting.
Okay, here we go.
So I guess Lively maybe hits it there. I thought that was a double dribble. He took like 2 dribbles there. I mean, maybe he fumbled it, so it doesn't count. Lively was certainly surprised he could dribble again. Oh, there's good defense by Shea. He got a deflection on Hardaway. They throw it ahead. Williams goes in for the layup. OKC's up by 5. What a turnaround this has been.
And OKC on the brink. A phenomenal response by them. I'll see if I can count out this run.
What a turnaround. They were completely dead in the water.
So this is a 16-5 run for OKC.
That was an incredible steal by Shea, too. So now Dallas has to respond. Irving has not been able to get going. Luka has not been able to get going. They're at combined 10 out of 30 from the field. Each does have 9 assists. But yeah, 9 points for Irving and 17 for Doncic. Washington has cooled off. He's now 7-19. His 2-point shooting, only 2 out of 8. So what are they going to try for here? I do question them not having Jones Jr. on the floor. I think that's really opened things up. And I probably would have had Gafford rather than Lively, too. I think Gafford has caused more problems for them defensively than Lively.
So it's 107. Yeah, 107 left, down 5. So you have probably 3 possessions here.
I mean, 2 really.
2 really, but if you push it a little bit,
non-fouling possessions is what you can count on if they really run the time down. Because OKC could, in theory, waste 48 of the remaining seconds here. They get it into Irving. Backdoor! It's Lively.
And he missed it.
Oh, got the rebound, and he's going to get hacked down low. So Derek Lively now will go to the foul line. They ran a brilliant play, and Chet bothered him underneath. He did well to get it back, and he got fouled by 3 guys there. It's, I think, Shea who gets him, although would you challenge here as Dagnall? Does he have it?
He does not have it, right? No, they used 2.
Oh, they used 2 already. Thank you. Yeah, I know they won that most recent one. So Lively, yeah, if he only makes 1 out of 2, OKC remains in very commanding position here. Makes the first. And so so that was very important, though, that Dallas only 6 seconds ran off on that possession. So if OKC uses up all 24, Dallas has 37 left. They only have 1 timeout, though. They just used 1. So it's going to be tough for them to get a 2-for-1. So he really has to make this shot. Off the heel, rebounded by Chet, and a loose ball foul. They are not in the bonus, though.
So basically all that does is it just puts OKC closer to the bonus.
Yeah, which is actually probably fine for Dallas. They're in a very probable situation. They're going to have to end up fouling there as, Washington plows into him with the body. Yeah, Chet's actually been decent as a rebounder here. They get it into Shea's reliable hands.
I would have tried to pressure that.
On him. They've got Jones Jr. in there. We're going to start Shea off the ball. They will surely get it in Shea's hands. Here they go. He'll set it. They switch it. Shea trying to get open. J-Dub's going to have to do it. He'll take the step back way short. And Doncic has it. Can they get a 2-for-1 here? He's pushing it up. He should take the three. They throw the alley-oop, and they do get the 2-for-1 with Jones.
But now I'd try to pressure this a little bit. See if you could speed him up. This is a young team.
And that was a failure there. They had P.J. Washington on Shea. Why did they set a screen to put Jones on him instead? I didn't get that.
I think they didn't. Maybe Shea didn't want to take the shot.
All right, now they call up the man they should have called up the whole time. Shea working on Hardaway. Tough fadeaway. Oh! Dallas calls the timeout before they pass it. I thought he went a little early there. Didn't have to take that quite yet. But Dallas has managed this exceedingly well in terms of the timing. They get the lively play within 6 seconds. They get Jones Jr. in transition. And I think that's just Shea there. Like, Chet has the center, but they probably were so worried about a three. So now, does Dallas go for the 2 or the 3? I would go for the 2 here. I think that they have largely outplayed OKC. I think Shea is exhausted.
The only player with 5 fouls, though, is Kyrie Irving, which is a consideration here. 4 for Dort, 4 for Luka. I think your primary on this is a 2, but you try to. I mean, you're going to also have a threat of a 3 just anyway, just to keep OKC honest.
Yeah. Now, I think this is the lineup they would have gone to regardless. So there's no real defensive sub here for OKC. And I imagine, are they going to go J-Dub on Kyrie? They're going to go Wallace? Are they going to switch screens? Are they going to blitz? What are they going to do? And if you're guarding Kyrie in an isolation here, you want to force him left. He's made big shots going left, but right that's where he's completely unstoppable. Dort is on Luka. They're going to go with Case and Wallace, the rookie, on Kyrie Irving. He's going to run a little flare. Wallace gets through it. They barely get it into Luka. He's going to drive. He falls down, and they don't have a challenge. Oh, is this a foul?
I'll need to see it again.
He gets tripped from behind by Dort. He kind of Euro steps around, and Dort, kicks his leg out from under him. Yeah, Dort is going to kick his left leg from out from under him here.
Yeah, it's not much contact, but it is enough. Yeah, that kick. Yeah, that's a foul. That's a foul.
Yeah, and so Doncic, never the most reliable of free throw shooters for his whole career, has 2 of the bigger ones that he's had, and they went early, so OKC will have a chance to respond. We'll see if he makes both. Oh, but he missed it. And Dallas is out of timeouts here now. So you got to get Jay Will, I would say, in for rebounding at this point. I don't think they're going to do that, though. I don't think they would go intentional miss.
No, I think you go for the make and the foul here, but
yeah, Jay Will is in now for rebounding. Doncic makes the second. And yes, this is the right call here with 2 timeouts to advance.
With 2, you don't hesitate. You just do it.
Yeah, so now OKC has pretty solid free throw shooters. I'm not sure. You probably would put Joe in here rather than Dort. I would consider Dort's not a terrible free throw shooter, but Joe is more reliable than him. And yeah, you see the free throw shooting from Dallas has absolutely killed them down the end. They would, in theory, be up 1 right now. Like they've played everything perfectly in this last minute except for making their free throws.
Purely on the percentages, the 5 best Thunder players that have played in this game: Shea 87, Joe 87, Dort 83, Jay Will 81, and Giddey and J Dub and Jay Will are both at 81.
They may have Giddey be the inbounder here.
Sure.
They've often used him in that role. He's their best passer.
And then Chet's high 70s
he is going to be in. And, they'll probably try something out of the backcourt. They're going to have Luka. Actually, are they sitting him right now?
Well, he has with the 4 fouls.
as they are with Kyrie, because they're going
Smart.
to have to foul. So, yeah, that is smart. Get some more. Luka's not very athletic anyway, so you can get someone more athletic out there.
And
Yeah, they've got,
OKC can call their last. They can call their last time out. The 5-second call is
yeah,
your worst enemy here.
yeah, they've got Exum and Green, and they're going to try and switch and deny everything here. Shea is guarded by Jones Jr.
Why do I feel like there's going to be an away from the play foul called here, like before the ball comes in?
I don't think this crew would do that to us. Dort trying to get open in front of Giddey. Now Shea goes to a football move, and that leaves Chet open. They'll foul him. So the two biggest free throws coming of the young Chet Holmgren's career. OKC closing it out with two rookies. One rookie for Dallas, Lively as well. And Chet now can put Dallas into difficulty, and with no timeouts for Dallas, if he can make both of these, surely OKC would foul to prevent the three.
Yes, and the threat of the foul can be really valuable here because if you get maybe they'll force a shot. We saw Jalen Brunson do that earlier. We've seen a few others in these playoffs.
Yeah, Chet.
But you have to make them first.
Yeah. First free throw for Holmgren. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Doncic is back in, and if you're OKC, you got to be ready to execute, whether it's a make or a miss. If it's a miss, you got to play defense in your normal fashion, and if it's a make, then you're in probably must foul situation. But you want some time to come off at least before you foul.
But you don't want to get too cute. You don't want to Miles McBride this.
Second free throw for Chet is money. And they got Jones Jr. in for some reason here. He's not a three-point shooter. That's interesting. Here's Irving going to push it up. I would foul now. Give the foul. Here they come with the double. Washington is open, and they foul him? No, they don't foul him. Hardaway Jr. is open for three. No, they did call it. They did call it out top. Oh, man. That was very close. I mean, you still can, in theory, foul when he releases the ball. I think Shea was one. Yeah, he fouls him before he gets rid of it. Shea is like, what are you doing double teaming? My guess is they did that. That was probably the plan for if he missed. And they were only up two. And Wallace, I think, blew that. I mean, that could have been a complete disaster. But 3.2 left now.
Make the first.
He's got to make the first, and that's not even close by Washington. What a killer. So now they have to, with no timeouts left, they have to intentionally miss this and throw it back out for a three. And I actually wouldn't even go with the other rebounder here. I would just be worried more about what happens after the miss to actually cover the ground and not give up a three. But they do have the two rebounders in. Washington with the intentional miss, and he makes it. Was he intentional? Was he trying to make that miss? We've seen Jason Kidd do some weird stuff with free throws at the end of games. Like a chance to go up four, he's gone for an intentional miss before.
And you know, I totally understand Daigneault calling the timeout there. It's hard to have this plan. They could have inbounded that, and Dallas would have never been able to respond in time. They could have just ended it.
No, you call the timeout every single time. With them having no timeouts and 3.2, you put the ball in the front court. It would be nearly impossible for something bad to happen to you. Like, why even open up the possibility?
Oh, because of the 3 point. Yeah, I guess with 3.2
of turning it over in the backcourt.
Jamal Murray only needs 1.1, Nate.
Yeah, 2-point lead now for OKC. Holmgren had two huge free throws. They almost screwed up. Yeah, there's knows a little bit about this situation. Tyrese Maxey.
Oh, boy.
What an insane game this has been. But all OKC has to do is get the ball in bounds here, and they should be okay. Maybe now Dallas, maybe after a made free throw, Dallas could try to throw it all the way down the length of the court again. But, of course, they can make two and really end the proceedings. Here's Shea getting open. They get it to him. foul takes place. Oh, they don't stop it until 1.4.
They'll put some time back on, I think.
I certainly would hope so, although it did kind of take him a while. Yeah, Luka grabs him. He's mad. He thought he was getting a jump ball. I would say not.
Why would he get a jump ball? Nobody touched the ball.
No, I guess he's just complaining that he fouled him earlier. Excuse me. Yeah, that's a great cut by Shea to get open. No idea why they had Gafford on the floor there if you're trying to deny the ball in bounds.
Well, also, like, Luka's still in foul trouble. Like, you have all that.
I mean, maybe they thought they were going to get a steal, and then you would push it down. So Shea,
they never added more time on the clock, but it probably doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean,
it was like 2.1.
I don't really know that took 2 seconds with Shea having the ball, but he makes the second one, and we're done here. Oklahoma City pulling victory from the jaws of defeat. They had nothing going whatsoever in this series, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams awoke from the dead to lead them to a 100-96 victory, absolutely out of nowhere, and this series is tied at 2. What a game.
Oof. And if you want to hear us talk about it more, Dunked on Prime tonight will be a lot of fun.
Indeed it will. We will be back for this show for Game 5. And maybe even the end of New York and Indiana if it's close to tomorrow. So join us then or on Dunked on Prime. Thanks a lot.